President Muhammadu Buhari's plane taxis the runway of the Joint Base Andrews. At exactly 6:45 p.m. local time, the president disembarks to a waiting entourage, including ministers, ambassadors, and other top government officials. The president is in Washington to participate in a three-day United States African Leaders Summit. It's the second such summit, and the U.S. says it wants to show its commitment to Africa and increase cooperation on shared global priorities. But what does Nigeria hope to achieve at the summit?
This is a meeting that would possibly be talking about everything under the sun. Good governance, human rights, climate change, food security, civil society, just about everything under the sun. So let's be there, let's talk about it. A side event that is also important to us here is the meeting of the Corporate Council Roundtable meeting. This is specific to Nigeria by the Corporate Council of Africa, CCA. In September, they were part sponsors of the business summit Nigerian government held in New York. This time around, it is CCA and Nigeria alone.
The three-day summit will see President Buhari participate actively. It will have the opportunity to address participants.
President is given a keynote speech on the matter of just energy transition. It's a very important matter for Nigeria. If you recall, in the course of COP25 in Scotland, actually the rich nations of the world had tried to limit funding, for gas projects all over the world. For us in Nigeria, gas is important as a transition energy, so that we move away from firewood. The generation of and promotion of desertification and all of that, so that we stop the aggravation of climate change in our own environment.
The summit is coming almost a decade after the inaugural one at the instance of the then President Barack Obama. Expectations are high as observers say the Biden administration tries to redefine the U.S.-Africa relations and participate more strategically in an emerging continent where the likes of China and Russia have engaged with regularity. The United States did say it sent out this invitation to countries in good standing with the African Union. President Muhammadu Buhari, he is accompanied on this trip by two governors of Bauchi State and his Kwara State counterparts. Some ministers would also be accompanying the president and top government functionaries. It is a crucial summit. It's coming almost a decade after the first one at the instance of President Barack Obama. Interestingly, President Biden was then the vice president. He did have some engagement with some heads of state at that time, unfortunately, who are still in power, but not for President Muhammadu Buhari, who came to power just after that summit in 2014. We expected to see a lot of engagement. There's something for everybody here: the youth, the innovative mind on the continent, the diplomatic circle, the private sector. We should see some American CEOs and Nigerian CEOs sign a couple of engagements. There are those who say when it comes to financial aid, when it comes to foreign assistance, the United States remains the biggest player for sub-Saharan Africa. But on the hand of trade, on the other hand of trade, investment, infrastructure, the U.S. is trying to play the catch-up game with what is clearly an emerging continent, an emerging Africa, the continent for the future. From the Joint Base Andrews, NAF, Washington, Adesua Omoruan, reporting for Arise News.